Rohan, just sum up your emotions right now, please, first.
Yeah, like really proud. Personally, didn't really know what to say or feel or think out there other than, really proud and privileged to be part of it. Now the dust's settling a little bit, I'm starting to think about next week a bit.
Just talk to us a bit about tonight first. What do you put it down to, that victory?
Whole heap of hard work since last November or whenever training started. That's what it always comes down to, accumulation of work over a long period of time. And some blokes have been preparing for that moment their whole career or their whole life. So the connectedness of the group on the field in the last 2 or 3 months is probably what held us together out there during those tough moments where we had to defend the line a lot.
I was going to say, what can you say about that goal line defence tonight?
Yeah, I think our goal line defence has been very good for a good period of time now. There's a lot of trust and belief. Everyone's just pretty calm and relaxed and doing their job mostly. We had a few near misses, but that's what it is. It's not all going to look perfect all the time. We found a way to get there and keep the ball off the line.
That first 40 was played almost exclusively in your half, wasn't it? How worried were you during that time?
Not at all worried. Just it's part of the game, and I feel there's a belief in the group that we'll find our way through it, and we kind of did there at one stage. We defended our line a lot. We wouldn't usually go for a goal at that point, but I thought at that point we needed the break probably more than Wigan, so we took the 2. And that was I think everyone felt pretty good about themselves going in at 4-2. I think was that the score at half time? Yeah.
Jared sort of got the ball rolling in terms of tries. How crucial was that score, do you feel, looking back?
Yeah, very. But the play before it where Zane buried his nose and ran hard, played the ball rapidly, that created the try really. But, Jared led Zane onto the ball and the play of the ball was as good as the try.
What were your thoughts on the red card?
Again, I didn't really watch the replays of it or not. It seemed like a late tackle live, and I sort of saw it out of the corner of my eye because I was watching where the ball went off the foot.
Has Aidan failed his assessment?
I haven't spoken to the doctor yet. Until I sat down here. I hadn't even started thinking about next week. I just worried about trying to enjoy it for a few minutes. We'll talk about Aidan on the way home.
You've got some big decisions to make next week in terms of putting that team together.
Well, I take every decision every week, really, really seriously and calculate it as best I can. And it's hard, it's hard leaving players out that have earned the right to be there. But that's the nature of being a coach and having to make the decisions. So, I say to players over the years, I welcome those sleepless nights, not quite knowing what to do. They're great and also awfully difficult at the same time.
Just lastly from me, Rohan, when you took over, you took charge that first time at Salford and came home on the bus having lost. Even at that time, did you think there was a possibility that the season might end at Old Trafford?
At that point, I hadn't given it a thought, to be honest. That is honest. I came not knowing a lot, but I knew enough to know there was a good group of players and a good group of people. But I was thinking about Salford, and then after that, I was thinking about Wakefield. That's how I've been the whole way through. And really this week we detailed Wigan and how we thought we needed to play, but we didn't talk about. I'm sure there's chats in the group and amongst the players about what's at stake and all that, but as a whole group in a team, we didn't talk about that. We just talked about getting ready to play Wigan rather than trying to build the occasion up too much. So, it's very nice to be in this position, but, way back then I hadn't given it a thought. I didn't think it wasn't possible, but I hadn't thought about is it possible either, so.
Well done.
Thank you.
Oh, and just touching on what JD said, you've always spoken about this being a long-term plan, a long-term project for you. Has all the decisions you've made been aligned with that it is long-term, or has it been with a view of making a grand final coming up?
I think there's always a long-term perspective to making big decisions, but certainly publicly and to you guys, I think nearly all my chat's been about this game or this week. Occasionally, there's decisions that need to be made that have to consider the future as well. But I think I've been very, very much about the current, present. It's always going to be a long-term thing. Like we're in a great position to be, for next week, but that doesn't change the importance of next year or in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, whatever that is. That's always going to be vital. But what I've tried to talk to staff, players, whoever else watches the press conferences, that it's very much about the game ahead. And I feel like the fans have really got behind that as well. You can see them just, and people always saying to me, "Oh, good win, on to the next one, eh?" Not looking too far ahead.
I think Sky caught you after the game making a phone call. Can you give us any detail about who?
Yeah, I called my wife. We've got 3 kids and one of them's a baby, so they stayed at home and watched it in the comfort of the lounge room. And I just wanted to share it with her. Without her support, I'm not here right now, and we're very much a team.
Just a few injury things. Mikolaj played. How close was he to not playing? And has he come through the game okay?
I think he'll be sore. I'm not sure how close to not playing. He was running around yesterday like nothing had happened, but he's carrying some pain through the week. But he's played every game. He plays hard every week. He wasn't going to miss it if he could get out there. So I have to see how it's pulled up and whether he'd be right to go again.
And you said in the week there was a chance Harry Newman could play this week, or obviously he didn't. Is he, in decent contention for next week or not?
Nah, he won't play next week.
Thank you.
Will you be ringing your dad and your uncle for advice on how to approach grand final week?
I don't know. Haven't thought about it. Obviously, they've been there and done that. All sorts of different things. I think I pretty much know what we've been doing as a group. We feel comfortable with, so I don't really think I need to be different myself, and I'm certainly not going to ask the players to be any different to how they have been. Just trying to treat it like another game, but obviously it's the last one of the year, so it's a pretty special one.
Rohan, as you say, you've been very much about deal with one game at a time, move on to the next game, very much a process sort of orientated vision. But will you allow yourself a moment privately or publicly next week to think about leading a team out at Old Trafford, 70,000 fans, what that might be like for you as someone who was coaching North a year ago?
I was coaching North 6 months ago, and the last game I coached, I think there might have been 300 people there. But to me, I was thinking about it. Someone actually asked me that yesterday, what's the difference between that and this year? And it's really hard to articulate, and unless I'm out there, when the crowd are going like that at the end of the game, that's just, there's no words that you can put to that. But through the week and the general prep and stuff, my passion for doing what I could for North to win was the same. It's just those special moments that the fans, and they make it that next level or of appreciation, I guess, where at North you could do a great job and there's no one there to tell you. But I don't do it for that. I do it just to be part of a team and part of something that's means a lot to a lot of people. That's why I like to be part of it.
Obviously, there's the potential for it to be even better next week, but that moment there with, I think it was 4,000 away fans and the players going through all the same emotion, where does that rank in the coaching career and everything you've done in the game?
Oh, that's, there's a lot of special moments that I've had. Like I spent 4 years at North with some people that aren't my family, but I would consider them like brothers. You know, to win a premiership with them last year meant a lot. And you know, I don't like to compare things or rank things. To you know, that's a special moment out there. It's unbelievable. Like the way that the fans have shown me respect, and you know, most of them wouldn't have had a clue who I was other than Tony's nephew or Brian's son. You know, that they've taken me in and given me a shot at it. So I respect that a lot. But you know, it's a special moment for sure.
Any more questions for Rohan?
Sorry, just quickly on the injuries, you mentioned Ash Hanley and David Fussy too. Could they have potentially been in a chance for the grand final? Is it too early?
If I had to say now, I'd say they're probably both not playing.
Liam Tyndall came in tonight for a rookie up against the quality of people he was up against. That's some effort, isn't it?
Oh, unbelievable. I don't know how many games he's played in. I think he's played 10 or 12 this year. Don't know how many overall, but best thing about Tyndall is nothing much bothers him. He just loves playing with his mates, and he rips in, and he's got belief in himself, and we've all got belief in him, and he just has a proper crack at it, which is all we can ask. And yeah, he's growing. He's growing. That's a tough ask playing on that edge against those guys in a big occasion, but that's on top of last week's big occasion where, yeah, great job.
Can I just ask you very quickly about the guy to your right, come on this season and been a revelation. How good was he tonight?
I'm not sure if he was much better than he has been in other games, to be honest. Like, he's been just so consistent and dependable, and you know, the boys love playing with people that they know, you know, with young players that they know what they're going to get every week, and he prepares like a veteran. He takes care of himself. He's fit as, extremely coachable, and boys love playing with him. And he's one of those blokes that just gives everything he's got for the good of the team. Only, you know, he got the personal accolade there tonight, and that's great recognition for a kid that's done well. But you know, I'm sure he'd give that away for a win any time. He's all about the team, which is great. He's a great kid.